Hey, good morning, Eastern Oregon, and welcome to this July 30th version of AM Live on EOA. Your connection to Eastern Oregon, or we're on the EOA network. That means if you type in EOA network, like www, only you don't have to type in that, EOA.network, it will take you to our link tree, which really is what we mean when we say network, because all of the locations, all of our content is available on all of those places that are represented on our link tree. So, how are you, man?
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
we're both
Good.
still kind of
Second Monday.
dragging. Yeah.
Long weekend.
Yep. For those of you that might not have kept track like the way that we do, we just got done with Shrine Weekend, which was, the stream started on Saturday night in Baker City at the Bulldog Stadium at 5:30. And when did it end?
Probably
10?
At least 10. It was 5.5 hours long.
It
It
was
was like 5 hours and
Yeah.
20 minutes or something like that, 19 minutes. So
Yeah.
if we started at 5:30, it was almost 11.
Yeah. So the game they did 15-minute quarters.
And then a long halftime, too.
Yeah, and which was, so the game was a little longer than what it has been in the past.
And then we start the stream an hour and a half early because
Right,
they start the on-field, regalia. Is that the right word? What they use a word for it.
Ceremonies?
No, they use a different word.
Yeah, regalia is a good word though for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this year there was nowhere near as many Shriners there. I noticed it on Friday when I got to the hotel. I was like, usually out by the pool. So we stay at the Sunridge where they stay, where the Shriners stay, and usually out by the pool, it is packed all the way around, like outside, because the inside rooms have sliding glass doors that look to the pool.
Okay.
And they all have like patio seating out there, and that is packed all the way around. And this Friday there was only one group because of the smoke and because of, I guess they had like some meeting earlier in the month, and there just wasn't a lot of Shriners there this year. The normal guys, Baker, Pendleton, but there wasn't near as many. Like that pregame stuff did not take as long as it did last year.
Yeah,
not even close.
Well, and part of it is Zach compacted. Zach was in charge of of the regalia, and he compacted it. So, but no
success.
Super good weekend, successful on our end in the sense that there's just a huge amount of technology that goes into that. We had a crew of 13, which is about what we've had in the past. That's 4 operated cameras and 2 static cams and just a lot of stuff. Yeah,
just a lot of planning, a lot of culmination of a lot of hard work.
Yep.
It turned out good.
Yeah, I felt really good about
it. Good.
I felt really good about it also. So, well, you want to do sports?
No, not yet. I want to talk about the parade first.
Oh, talk about. Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
You're rushing me.
Do you want to? Well, I did. Okay. Hey, do you want to talk about the parade?
Oh yeah, the parade was fairly small this year, but I went and took some pictures. I'll just show the parade pictures first. That was kind of cool. That mascot there from Hilla was at the game on the sidelines. It was pretty cool. Keep them going, Gabe. Yeah, this was the queen. She was such a little sweetheart. June Wilkins. She was a total sweetheart. And then this was the co-captain, and 2 of them didn't show up, so they pulled double duty. Julian Schindler, he was a great kid. Cheerleaders right here. Obviously, only half of them. The other half are on the other side. This is Ryan Paulson. She sang the national anthem, and she was a cheerleader. She's from Baker. She did an excellent job. Another little shot of the cheerleaders here from the parade. The parade was small too. The smoke and the fires caused, like a lot of, everything was downsized because of it, but they still raised a ton of money. These young ladies, they raised $3,000 at the Haynes Stampede for the Shrine game, which is really cool. These are the princesses, and I just thought that tractor was in the parade, and I thought it was cool looking. He's even got like a sunshade and everything. That guy was just chilling. couple kids. The funny thing about that dog there, those full-size poodles, when my youngest daughter was probably about that little boy's age, we were up at Wallowa Lake, and somebody had one of those full-size poodles not on a leash, and it jumped on my daughter.
Oh, man.
And scratched her. And she was deathly afraid of dogs until she was about 12 years old.
Huh.
Yeah, because of it. Like, no, that's why I'm a firm believer in leash laws.
Yeah.
And one of the things, like the beaches in Oregon, people are terrible about keeping their dogs on a leash. So I always call people out for it. Put your dog on a leash. It's not you know what I mean? I don't want your dog coming up to me. Like, no, you never know. You know what I mean? I love dogs. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But I don't want somebody's dog like running up to my kids or to me. You know what I mean? Because they're still unpredictable, and they're animals.
Yeah.
But that parade was fun. It was really short, like I said. But all the important things were in it. You know what I mean? And one of the things that we talked about, like that I want to see more of next year, is past players. Like they didn't do a great job of recognizing past players, and I think that needs to be a part of the game. And I mean, the Shriners agree. Like, it needs to be part of, like the guys that have played in the past. We had a former Queen down on the field before the game, and that was cool, but I saw a couple past players that I knew, but they didn't do any sort of recognizing of them, and usually they do, and I think it was just an oversight. But yeah. I mean, like I said, it was a weird year because of the smoke and just the fires. People didn't know there was a chance that the game was going to get moved early in the week.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
right.
The air quality was questionable, and it still came together, and we killed it. Mike Rudy says we did it awesome. It was a great broadcast. I agree. And I'm not just saying that because I'm part of it. I'm critical of myself and of what we do, and I would be honest if I thought it was, not good. But it turned out really good. It just keeps getting better and better, honestly.
Well, from the tech standpoint, I was happy.
I didn't hear nothing in my ear.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, I didn't hear any problems in my ear during the whole game. So,
yeah.
And that makes it really easy for us in the booth because
then you're concentrating on
what we should be concentrating on.
Yeah.
Not that William would even know or worry about what's going on down there, but I do.
Right. Yeah.
It's a little bit different for him.
Well, yeah, you're the game producer. That's what we
try.
credited. That's what we credited you.
I give Gabe a lot of credit this year for helping out with that too, like getting things in order, and we just thought we all came together, and we toned back a little bit on the coverage just because I didn't want Benny to be completely strung out by Saturday.
Yeah.
But we were still pretty much everywhere. It's just kind of how it happens. And the barbecue in the park, we went. Mike Rudy got Benny and I tickets to dinner, and we still got a little bit of coverage there. We weren't going to, but we just brought our camera. We had the cameras with us. It's like we're going to use them if we have them,
right?
And everybody was super fun this year. Like there was no like time crunch, which in years past, like we've tried to jam a lot of stuff into Friday night, and this year it was a lot looser. It was nice. Yeah. It really was. And I have to say, we are so sorry for missing one of the cheerleader in the introductions. We fixed it. We put the introduction video out yesterday. That was an oversight on my part, and I should have checked it better. But it's in there now, and we posted it yesterday on our stuff. And it'll be on the DVD that we send out to the players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the electronic file.
The digital DVD.
Yeah.
Yes. They know. I told them all.
Right, I know.
It's coming to them.
Right, I know. But you said DVD, and...
Well, I mean, it is. Okay, it's not a DVD, but...
I don't want to confuse people out there,
No, but people can still buy the DVD if they want it.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's do sports now.
All right.
AM Sports Report brought to you by Hobby Habit right here in town, 411 First Street. go check out what they got, man. They have Legos, they have STEM products for your kids, they have kendamas, they have board games, they have Magic the Gathering, they have events. A lot of Saturdays they'll have Magic the Gathering events, and they'll get together and play cards. They have a Facebook page. I always link it in the description. You can go check out their page and see when the next event is. Hobby Habit here in LeGrand, just for the fun of it. Oh man, Shrine Game 2024 saw the West come away with a 26-21 win over the East. Early on in the game, things got a little chippy. Like there was like some pushing and shoving, and but the refs like did a really good job of getting that under control pretty early, and there was times where like I kind of felt like there might have been a few too many flags for an all-star game, but you know I also look at it as we don't want an all-star game to get out of control, and for the most part the players did an excellent job. They played hard football. And the East had a chance to win it at the end, and that's what you know. In my eyes, for like an all-star game or like a big game, you want both teams to be in it at the end, and that makes it a little bit more exciting. I did think the West did a really bad job of managing the clock down the stretch. Like me personally, if I'm coaching the West, the East never even gets the ball back in my eyes like that last time. But I'm not the coach, you know what I mean? So I can't really say what Coach Hedden was thinking or what was going on down there. But it was just a great game, and it was fun to be a part of. And the players and the coaches made it super fun. People keep asking about stats. We don't keep stats. Nobody keeps stats for this game because they want the focus of the game to be the hospital and the Shrine kids, not stats. And the first year that we did the game, we were originally going to keep stats, and it didn't work out. So since then, as far as our broadcast of it, Zach and Gibb have been in charge of this thing, and they were like, we're not going to worry about stats. And so I kind of like it like that. I mean, it does make a lot easier for us, in the booth, because we don't have to be, looking at stats the whole time as well. And it does keep the focus on the Shrine kids and on the hospital, which is super important. Gabe, roll those pictures for me. We got some pictures from the game taken by a local sports photographer, super talented, Brenna Strand. This was the cheerleaders during the game, and we'll roll through these. $3,000 check that the Haynes Stampede Rodeo Association presented to the Shrine Game at halftime. This was the auctioneer. I don't remember his name, but he was good. He's been there, I think, every year since we've been there. Co-captain Julian Schindler. These kids did speeches, and they did a great job. There's Queen June Wilkins again. And this is during that time in the beginning when I told you about before the game. These are the footballs that they use. Keep it going a little faster, good. There's Ryan Paulson again singing the national anthem. Players from the winning team, the West. These are just all pictures of during the game. Another great shot that Brenna caught during the game. The final score, once again, 26-21 West. I predicted the East to win. I thought the West was bigger, and I kind of felt like the East was faster and a little more, I want to say, disciplined. Here's the helmet that they sold. This helmet sold for $1,100. It's a one-of-a-kind helmet that was designed and signed by all the players in the game. Baker quarterback Paul Hobson, he played pretty much the whole game at quarterback. That was another thing that I didn't really understand in this game. Usually in an all-star game, players switch around. You'll see, there was 30 players on the team. You usually see a little bit more substitution and more players at different positions, but you didn't really see that in this game. I mean, on the east side, Long from South Umpqua, the running back, he probably had 30 carries, I would imagine. I mean, obviously we don't keep stats, but he had a lot of carries. And Mike Rudy says Wayne Overton was the auctioneer. He does a really good job. Wayne Overton, yeah.
He's on the He's on the OTEC board and has been for years and years, and so we've intersected with him.
He does a really good job. Finally, for sports, let's talk about the McKinley family and Cade's Courage. It's still going. There's the QR code for the GoFundMe page. The family needs help. Cade's a 3-sport. Gonna be sophomore athlete at LeGrand High School. He was diagnosed with a form of Ewing sarcoma cancer, and the family's in a long battle. And unfortunately, that means that they have to go to Portland a lot and for his treatments, and they're going to need people's help. And this is the way you can help them. If you don't like doing the GoFundMe thing, there's an account set up at U.S. Bank in the McKinley family name, or it's Cade's Courage, and you can donate there, and it'd be super appreciated. The McKinley family, like I always say, has done a lot for this community. They spend a lot of time with the youth, coaching, and Parker's a teacher here in the school district. He does the whole Tiger build, where they're building the house for the high school. And then, I mean, anytime a youth needs help, I think we should band together as a community and help them out. And Sports Report brought to you by Hobby Habit, just for the fun of it.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Well, while we're talking about Shrine, I just want to mention our crew. Talk for a minute about this, because a lot of really significant people make this happen. First one, my wife Tanya. She is we're partners in this company, and she's a silent partner until she's not. And
she's very much not a silent
she's not.
partner.
Yeah.
I don't know where you get that from.
No, but she does let her voice be known. Yeah, and she's watching the finances all the time. Anyhow, but she is like I would be lost without her, because in these games she's kind of the mom. She's make sure that we're watered and fed and taken care of. And so anyhow, and then the crew, you know, our local crew here, of course, Kyle and Gabe and Benny. Those are our local partners. Those are my local guys, employees and they play a key role before and during the game. So, but in the trailer, let's talk about that first. So then, Evan ran. He was the technical director. Mark was the audio guy. Gabe put all together all of the graphics, and he's the graphics person and and commercial roll in. All of that stuff Gabe put on the screen and provided. Benny, who is obviously one of our key players here, he does all of the post-production and editing and shooting, but during the game he's actually the cameraman that is on the field. Kyle and William are the people in the booth. Kyle is the color, William is the play-by-play. Kyle is also the game producer, so he's the one that puts the game all together before we start. Once the game starts, he doesn't have much control over it.
No.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's good.
Yeah,
it takes some stress off
but
him.
all of that stuff, you know, all of that stuff was planned beforehand, and then hopefully we all have the same script and we're just kind of running off of the same script. So
it worked out really well this year.
It really did. William he's an amazing play-by-play person, and he's extremely calm, and really appreciate the connection that he has to Shriners, which is just awesome. So, and then our camera guys, Taylor, Justin, and Jeff, they were the three main cameras, one of them up in the press box and then two in the stands at either end of the field. I think they're about the 30-yard mark, and did a great job. Lee Wright, we call him the tech facilitator, but he's the one that builds the platforms. He's our carpenter, for a lack of better term. Handyman, yeah.
Anything for Buck Lee Wright.
Yeah, so anything, yeah. And during the game, he's the one that keeps gas in the generator, keeps it going and monitors that and makes sure that that's continuing to go.
You've probably heard him.
Yeah, yeah. Lee has lost part of his hearing in his
he's one of my
construction over the
favorite
years.
people.
He is, but he's a really great cheerleader, you know. And I want to call out both Lee and Evan. Evan was the technical director. He's the one that was actually picking the camera shots and the instant replays during the game. Evan is just an amazing, calming personality. He's always positive, even in stressful situations. So, on the Shrine organization side, really appreciate Zach, who is the president this year. We interfaced many times, and the treasurer, Steve, who we interfaced when we needed to get paid, and really appreciate those two guys and the way that they accommodated us. And then Randy Goyer, who is he is the past treasurer, and he is on the ground in Baker City helping facilitate a lot of that sponsorship and those kinds of things. And then Gibb, the past president, always appreciate when we get a chance to talk with Gibb. And he was, I don't know that he was there, but he had coordinated.
He was not there.
He coordinated all of the tickets and so on and so forth. So, and then kind of in our pocket, we have two professionals. Gibb Pollard, who has been technical director in the past, and then Sean Halliday, who is a video guru who works in Los Angeles, but is here in Eastern Oregon, lives here in La Grande. And those two guys, both of them have worked games before, but their lives are in such that they're not able to work games, but a really critical part of the team. So anyhow,
On the Shrine side too, Mike Rudy makes things a lot easier on me.
Yep.
I think he definitely needs to be.
Mike is a great cheerleader for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always, I always get a message. If you need anything, call me. And he's a huge part of making that game happen too.
Yep.
Like,
Yep. Absolutely.
very huge part.
Well, and just the people in Baker City. I mean, I get questions all the time, like, well, why is the game in Baker City? Why isn't it in La Grande? And the investment that Baker makes as a city in making that happen. I mean, they have built that entire weekend. They have built their culture around that game, and I don't know who it was that I was telling is that in any organization, in anything that you're doing, the volunteers are the hardest to replace. You can hire people, you can hire directors, or you can hire different people, but you can't hire volunteers. Volunteers do it because they want to do it, because they feel passionate about it, and they are extremely difficult to replace. And so the volunteers, they're sacred in my heart. When I'm leading an organization and I have volunteers, they deserve a different and a special kind of treatment, even sometimes above your paid staff. And so the volunteers that make that happen, and that's the cool thing about the whole Shrine thing, is that they're all volunteers. Everybody who is making that happen, they're doing that out of the goodness of their own heart. And, I don't know what they're going to end up giving to the hospital this year, but that's the whole point of this weekend, is to give a chunk of cash to the hospital in Portland. And normally it's around $40,000, something like that. So
that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. Yeah. And it's, and then all of that PR, all of that attention that goes towards that goodness, it's just that's a good thing. So, yeah, so thank you guys. Thanks for hiring us, and thanks for letting us be a part of it.
2 days away.
Yeah.
It's going to be on July.
A day before or a day after what it was this one, right?
It was a leap year.
26th?
It was July 26th. Yep.
Yeah, so-
July 26th. The last Saturday in July, always.
Yeah. So.
Says it right on the side of their new trailer. Last Saturday in July.
Is that what it says?
The Shrine trailer.
All right. Well.
Won't be on my birthday again for 7 more years.
Well, and yeah, and our anniversary.
Oh, it won't be on your anniversary again for 7
Yeah,
more
so we
years,
gotta we're gonna try and celebrate this. I mean, we didn't even get each other cards or anything. I mean, it was just we were just slammed,
Yeah,
you know. So this next weekend we're gonna try and make up for that, hopefully. So
Is 17 a important year in anniversaries?
no, but anniversaries are important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so are birthdays, but I
Right.
don't really care about my birthday.
And this was a big one too.
What?
This was halfway to 90.
Yeah, that's not a big one. The last birthday that meant anything was
Well-
when I turned 25 because my insurance rates went down.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. And anything else is like, eh. You know what I mean? Like, who cares?
Yeah. So
July 26th, yeah, 2025.
So were you when you were under 25, were you a high risk driver and then your insurance went down?
I was never a high risk driver.
Yeah.
No, it just automatically goes down
Yeah.
when you turn 25 if you're a male.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's just statistics probably.
Yeah.
But no, I've only ever had two tickets. One of them got expunged because it was before I was 16 and I was driving without a driver's license and speeding and ran a stop sign. Got pulled over up here by the high school by a state trooper that was in an unmarked car. And I got like reckless driving without a license, a few other things. And they put me in this program and it expunged all of it.
Yeah.
And then I got a speeding ticket in Independence, Oregon when I first moved over there. He got me for like 8 over or something in a 35. And that's the only speeding ticket I've ever got. I was a passenger one time when I was like 22, I want to say. And I applied to work here for the post office. Mm-hmm. And I didn't get the job because I got an open container when I was 22 as a passenger. I was the passenger and they gave me a ticket, an open container ticket. Yeah. And that's it. That's all the tickets I've ever gotten. So, no, I wasn't a high risk.
No.
Yeah. There's some people that have like, you know what I mean?
No.
That have been
No,
pulled
there are
over.
some. Yeah.
I mean, I've been pulled over plenty of times. Don't get me wrong. Like a few times driving between here and Dallas.
Yeah.
Just, that late night red eye driving, they'll pull you over for anything just to check if you've been drinking.
Yeah.
It was usually like, oh, your license plate lights out. Like, really? Like, I got 3 sleeping kids in the car. We're trying to get to my parents' house. Like, I haven't been drinking. Let me get on my way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's late at night. They haven't seen a car in 4.
Yeah. And I get it. And I understand why. And I'm not anti it. Unless it's when they do it to me. They're like, damn it. They're like, really, you're going to waste a half an hour of my time, like, to check to see if I've been drinking?
Yeah.
But they do catch a lot of people like that, I'm sure. It's effective. If you just sat there as a cop and looked for any kind of violation, whether it be lights or, and pulled all those people over, you're going to get a percentage of people that are drinking at nighttime.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, we live out in Island City, just on the Cove Highway, just right before the speed changes. And I mean, people are either they start accelerating early, or they start decelerating late. Either one. But I mean, they whiz by our house a lot, and there's some like, yeah, I wish somebody had sit out there. Well, and it's kind of a curve, and so us pulling out, like I had the trailer connected to the van the last couple of days, and I would look both ways as far as I could and pull out, and sure enough, by the time I'd get out,
There's a
somebody
car
would be
right
my
on
tail.
you?
Yeah. So that happened several times. So, well, so let's look at our weather. Our weather cam is down right now. It's not the weather cam. It's actually our streaming service for that weather cam is.
Oh
is down
my
right
gosh! Look at Friday.
now. Yeah, back up.
103 on Friday. Oh yeah, we're getting back to hot tomorrow.
Yeah,
I
we
don't
are.
like that. 80 today. I like hot, but I don't like it like where it's like uncomfortable hot.
no, and thankfully, our air conditioner was in the office was down the whole week right before Shrine.
2 weeks, almost 2 weeks.
No, it was a week.
Was it only a
Yeah,
week?
it seemed like forever,
Yeah.
but it was it seemed like forever. But no, well, what else is going on? I guess we're the next thing we're looking forward to is fall sports getting going, right?
Football.
Yeah,
Yeah, football, volleyball. EOU will try to take that volleyball team back to the national tournament and make some noise. I think they have a good chance to. They have a lot of returners. They're solid.
yeah,
And football, new offensive coordinator, some new players, some new things happening. We'll see. I mean, I think they need to go at least 500 this year. The
Yeah.
football team, and hopefully they can make that happen. Quincy Glasper's back at quarterback. He's the Central Washington transfer, and he had a really good year last year. I think he's the best quarterback in the Frontier. And hopefully we can protect him this year because he took some big shots last year, and he can't. I mean, you can't do that. Like your quarterback, you gotta protect him. And,
Yeah.
And hopefully the football team figures that out, and should be a fun year, fun fall. Soccer, men and women's soccer, exciting. They got a new goalie on the men's team. Josh Goodman will start his second year, I believe, as the head coach of the women's team. And the women's team is consistently good. A lot of the time they make the national tournament. I would love to see the football team make the playoffs this year. That would be awesome. It's been a little while, so we'll see.
yeah,
It's exciting. I'm ready for fall.
yeah. And fall football from high school football. We've heard from Baker City. I think we're going to cover their home games. I'm sure we'll cover the LeGrand home games, although I haven't heard anything from them, although I've reached out to them. So
Well,
Pendleton, we don't know.
That's normal.
Yeah. So that we'll have high school football locally here, or Eastern Oregon football. So
Yeah, that's always fun too.
Yeah.
It's always a good time.
yeah. So and then I guess what else? I mean, we've got a couple of production projects that we're getting back to. Everything, the last week of Shrine, on my calendar it just says Shrine Week. There were no appointments.
No.
Which was like super unusual, and it's like, nope.
Mike, yes, we are doing Baker's games. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. The home games.
Right.
It's not cost effective to do road games.
Well, we used to do road games, and it was a huge lift. But what during COVID, then kind of the way that what happened is all of the teams felt some obligation. All of the schools had some obligation to at least stream their local home games.
Yeah, but not that many were.
No, well they did during COVID.
A few.
Yeah, and that's what so that has changed the landscape.
It's just It
It used to be that if you had an away game, there was no way of viewing it at all. Yeah.
Right. You just hope that the away games, whatever school your team's playing, has some sort of streaming system.
Well,
set up.
and so then during COVID, that helped a lot of them get over the hump for that kind of stuff. So, yeah. Well, so I think that's it. Do you want to?
Let's get out of here.
Get us out of here today?
Yep. On this day, July 30th, 1733, the Society of Freemasons opens its first American lodge in Boston. 1863, on this day, President Abraham Lincoln issued an eye-for-eye order to shoot a rebel prisoner for every black prisoner shot. 1874, on this day, the first U.S. baseball professional teams to play outside the U.S. Boston played Philadelphia in the British Isles. 1945, on this day, after delivering the atomic bomb across the Pacific, cruiser USS Indianapolis is torpedoed and sunk by a Japanese submarine. 880 crew die. Most of them died from shark attacks, believe it or not.
Ugh.
Yeah. And that's what inspired the movie Jaws.
Oh, really?
Yep. 1975 on this day, U.S. Teamsters President Jimmy Hoffa disappears in suburban Detroit. 7 years later, he's legally declared dead. They still haven't found him.
No.
Some people think he's under the stadium. Like
Yeah.
they buried him in the concrete under the
No,
stadium.
and that's kind of been a running joke through the years. It's like, yeah, when they do some big construction project and they excavate dirt, it's like,
Yeah.
did they find Jimmy
Yeah.
Hoffa?
Well, in Detroit, yeah.
Right, yeah.
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 76, future TV personality and Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Bruce Jenner, now Caitlyn Jenner, sets the world record in the decathlon at the Montreal Olympics. 8,618 points. That's crazy. That number, if anybody knows decathlon, our national champion at EOU and NAIA was just over 7,000. So do the math on that. There's 10 events. That means you're averaging 861.8 points per event, which is crazy.
Jenner was. That's in order to get to that number.
In order to hit 8,618, which was the world record at the time. 2003, I got a picture of this one too. I don't know if Gabe got it loaded or not. It's on the screen. The last old-style Volkswagen Beetle rolls off the assembly line in Mexico. So 2003 was the very last old-style Volkswagen Beetle that they made. And I mean, it looked just like a 70s. And then they switched to that ugly, whatever, they made for, I don't even think they still make them. The new Beetles.
The dome Beetles,
yeah. Yeah, they're ugly. And I didn't fit, my really good friends in high school drove a Volkswagen Beetle, and I did not fit in that very well.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. It was like kind of scrunched in. They also drove a Brat, a Subaru Brat, and it's a very similar, really small on the inside, but in the back you had these plastic seats in the bed. It was like a car with a truck bed.
Right.
And in the back you had these plastic seats with like these handles on the sides, and that's where you sat. It's kind of like the old S10s with the fold-down seats in the back.
I owned a Subaru Brat for a while,
2018 on this day, the official Malaysian investigation into the disappearance of Flight MH370 is unable to determine what happened to the 277 people on board. They never found it. That Malaysian flight.
Right, no.
277 people just vanished.
They found pieces of it.
But they never found anybody, any of they never found the black box, nothing.
No,
It's all just gone in thin air, like Bigfoot.
Which is still a crazy thought in this day and age.
Yeah, that 277 people can just disappear.
Well, or that, with all of the technology of an airplane, that, I mean, you can put a GPS device on
Anything.
yourself or anything.
You can put a GPS device on anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand just because I know how vast the ocean is.
Right.
Things, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I would assume that it's somewhere in the ocean, right? If it was on land, we probably would have found it.
Right. The
ocean is so, I mean, we haven't even found all the creatures in the ocean, let alone, you know what I mean? Like, there's stuff that we'll never know in our lifetime.
No, they know that it disappeared in the ocean.
Yeah.
Because they found debris from it floating that eventually floated into stuff,
Well, maybe they got abducted by aliens. Maybe Bigfoot got them. Bigfoot. Whoever believes in Bigfoot.
Aliens and Bigfoot.
There is aliens. They're some sort of aliens, but there definitely ain't no.
I don't know.
Bigfoot.
Both of those are in the same category.
Not in my eyes. No.
Yeah, we've had that discussion.
Well, I mean, here's the simple thing. We would have found something if there was a Bigfoot by now. There would at least be a hair or a bone or at least a feces, something. You know what I mean? Like somebody told me one time, oh, well, what if they eat their own poop? Well, eventually eating your own poop, it's going to run out of nutritional value, right? So you can't just keep eating it, pooping it out and eating it.
We should have We should have a string of all of the rants that you've had about Bigfoot.
Oh,
We should put them all together.
I think it's funny that people actually like have the, and no offense to them, they're passionate about what they do, whatever. But like, dude, come on, like be, like. Anyways, number one song in the country on this day in 1974, which is 50 years ago. "Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me" by Elton John. That obviously is not a picture from 1974. That's a way newer picture, but I didn't like the ones from 74 him, so I picked that one. And then the quote of the day, it comes from Anonymous. "A comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing ever grows there." One more time. "A comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing ever grows there."
That's interesting.
That's so true.
Yeah.
I mean, you get complacent and you don't, move forward. It's. I mean, that's like a standard in life that everybody should understand. Complacency is a dream killer.
Yeah. Yep.
Boom.
All right. Well, hey, thank you guys for being with us, and
Yeah, everybody that watches, everybody that tuned in on Saturday, we appreciate everybody, man.
yeah, and we had, I think,
We don't say that enough.
because there wasn't as many live attenders.
Oh, there
People
was
didn't make
so
it. Yeah,
many
there was
watching the stream.
we had a ton of online traffic, and which is awesome. And it was fun because on YouTube, they had. I mean, and I know they did on Facebook too, but on YouTube they had a conversation going. It was
Yeah. On all the
Yeah.
platforms, people were talking,
Yeah.
about the kids and helping us with. For some reason, I thought there was only two weird pronunciations, but the Sandy kid,
Yeah.
I thought it was Sand, and we called him Sand for the first half, SANDE, and people are, parents, grandparents, whoever, are always quick if it's, like, hey, and so that's appreciated too. That's something that wouldn't have happened pre-streaming era.
Right.
You know what I mean? He would have just been Sand all game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the people watching give us the ability to correct that right in the middle of the game, because I watched the comments to, people are, my buddy Mike, he said, "Put Doddsy in a Shriners hat, a fez, and have him run a 40-yard dash out there." Oh, God. I was like, no, but yeah, it's fun. It's like the high school games where people have a good time, and it's awesome.
Yep. All righty. Well, hey, thanks you guys. Appreciate you tuning in.
See you Thursday.
All right.